Greetings everyone, here's Lodrik and this is a game War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. My play by email match against Jochen. Jochen is allied player for me, the Empire of Japan. Scenario 1 and 1 day turn setup. Last turn we saw that my first carrier division west of Perth was able to intercept one of Jochen's cargo tanker convoys returning from Perth back to Cape Town, so it was an empty convoy. Here this is only additional landing in Norfolk Island. I take this base for my special operation to save one of my first class fleet destroyers. Sweeping mines in Port Blair. Not more sure how many are left. Once this is done, I can maybe mine Port Blair myself and then build up the air base that I can operate Nell and Betty bombers, the float planes, simply to secure the sea entry to Sumatra, so that no surprise strike will happen on Singapore. So more ships are sinking, maybe it's related to my strike on Pago 2 days ago. There was many ships burning. So, but also can also be that one of the carrier cargo ships escaped. There was one ship escaping, but with heavy damage and heavy fire. So I don't really believe that anything survived from that task force. And this is now my second carrier division, and I was hoping for this, and it looks like that there was just a task force coming out of the frame, and this is the incoming convoy, and this is a long length torpedo attack. I never had this before, so it is a attack strike, something surprise strike. You can see that the Japanese throwing all the torpedoes in the water and with a higher chance to hit, I think, something like this. It would be nice if this is the enemy battle task force. For a cargo task force is maybe a little overkill and waste, but it shows me there is this mechanic. It's possible. In all of my game in Dojo and Jochen so far, I never saw this, but it looks like it is possible. But if it's only possible against a cargo convoy, then it's also a question why I need this. I can normally use my deck guns to simply wipe out this cargo convoy, and I will now speed up this because they're cargo ships. I will kill them all, and that is the end. Important is this is a loaded convoy, and the second convoy in very short time. Jochen is losing. Again, all of these ships are nothing special. Nothing will Jochen miss. But it's important maybe more to close the supply lines to Perth. So after losing so many ships in short time, he is maybe forced to use battleships for convoy. So he have maybe in the future bigger convoys, but with battleship protection. So I cannot use my navy. At least this is a tactic the Allies use in the Atlantic. So, because I think Jochen get two of the older Queen Elizabeth battleships. You can use, they are slow, but they are, I think, perfect for this kind of movement. And here no ship will survive, especially because they are all full of fuel. So one shell hit will already make sure that the ship is burning, and with fuel for cargo it is impossible to get another. Maybe if you are in the port, but not here in the open. hope my guy's getting some experience for this. These cargo ships are a little steady, so we need a little more shells to sink them immediately. It's from a economy or from a effort standpoint point of view, you would normally say, okay, make sure that the ship is burning and then let them burn. You don't must really sink them immediately. You can save a lot of ammunition and torpedoes here. But this is not possible in this game. That is maybe even for this kind of game too much detail instruction for commander. And yeah, it makes sense that the commander is acting on his own and his basic skills, how aggressive he is, and how long he will keep up the fight, and what moment he tries to escape. You can still see that my ship's trying to use torpedoes, and it's not very high chance to hit, even if the ship is burning and slowed down. So I would say a surface torpedo attack, I think the hit chance is roughly 5%. And I'm not sure if Japanese torpedoes hit more than Allied torpedoes. I have only simply more torpedoes, and then I can maybe create more surface torpedo hits. But the hit chances, it's only that my torpedoes create much more damage than an Allied torpedo. With 5,000 or more, a whole division, I would be happy and I would say, yeah, that is a heavy impact. It's not bad to sink these cargo ships. And especially if my operations with my carriers east coast of Austria will maybe make it very complicated for Jochen to maintain his positions in Australia for some time. I mean, to defend and hold a base without fighting will not consume much supply, so he can hold his position if he's not forced to really do anything, but it also will cripple or hinder any forward operation for him in the next coming 1 or 2 months, let's say this. I don't know how long Jochen needs to reorganize his convoy lines to bring in again supplies to Perth. And at some point I simply, or my commander say, okay, it's enough. Not every ship is sunk, but every ship is on heavy damage. Nearly every ship sunk, or sunk. So again, he let one guy escape, simply because Japanese are nice and say, okay, all the sailors in the water, so we let one ship survive. Yeah, it's burning, it's heavy damage, but then it's up to you. If you are skillful, you can repair your ship and pick up all your friends. If you fail, it's your problem. We are on a full Japanese. We let always one ship escape. So some sub attack here against the destroyer, unluckily no hit. Long time my submarines was not able to really hit anything. Would be nice to get here more destroyers out of the way. Destroyers are always so painful for me. I think so far I lost already 4 fleet submarines. Mostly against 2 mine hits, 1 airstrike and 1... And I think only 1 submarine really gets killed by a destroyer so far. So bad weather here. Airstrikes to soften up the ground forces. Here we can create a little more damage. But again, all only disabled. Nearly all disabled. This is roughly 1 week period of time. You had 100, 150, I don't know how many fighters here in China, all from origin from Rangoon. At that moment I had to wait and pause my activity. But now that I know there's no enemy fighters left, or only maybe not enough at least, I can use again all my Japanese light bombers, medium bombers. Now Jochen is again bombing Chiang Mai. And I try to fight back with my flag. But it's hard to kill these E-17s. Only flag alone is simply not enough. You need always both interceptors and flag. But I need an airbase I can really defend. So it must be an airbase where no enemy fighters can escort the bombs. Or sweep the airbase, something like this. So Bangkok is maybe the better position. More ships are sinking. And submarines. So bad weather everywhere. So no air attack more in the afternoon. No airstrike on Luganville or anything else. And now the second amphibious assault on Tarakan. So the first time I miss the second Navy Guard units, but now I bring them in. So okay, Norfolk Island takes this Allied bombardment, so it's only that I have roughly 10 times or 9 times the attack value, okay. But it was normally maybe not a really attack value, I was missing. I had only not enough supplies in the base to attack. Attack value is really meaningless if you don't supply your units. Of course, if you don't have bullets and shields, what all your army guys would do. So, at the end, similar to last turn, I was able to kill one cargo convoy. Okay, nice. But the rest was very standard. But tonnage and victory points, it was of course a nice day. Good. So 7th of March, air losses 0-0. So totally, my flag was not able to really damage any B-17, and all my airstrikes in China was also not interrupted, and no landing accidents, even if I run so many missions. I don't know how many missions I had today. 6,000, no, 4,500. So in Allied you're running much more missions. But not combat missions, I think these are mostly training missions. You can see that our campaign, we are now totally equal, but Jochen have already much more training missions than Japan. Simply, I don't have the planes. Yeah, ship sunk. Official, so we can see these are mainly all British and Commonwealth. I mean, where's the difference? I mean, they are British, not directly from the island, but okay, then they are Australian, New Zealand, but anyway, then it must be South Africa, I think. South Africa, maybe, or anything but it's not New Zealand and not Australia, but also not British. So, Commonwealth. A lot of these 11-point ships. So again, long-range ships. Okay. With good cargo. These are good, not perfectly good, but better cargo ships. This is a much smaller, but also faster. But all cargo ships normally run always on cruise speed. So the max speed is not so important for a cargo ship. Normally it's always a cruise speed. And this is a cruise speed of 11 and this is a cruise speed of 11. So it's the same speed. Yo, fine. So again, many points here. I mean, at least some points. And fuel is not arriving in person. Good. In China we had no battle. But I arrived in this hex. So maybe next turn I can attack already. If I can break immediately, or maybe it need 1 or 2 turns. Hard to say. I'm also moving still units around Changsha, so I will move in more troops to block the railway. And I hope this also will reduce the supplies can run to Changsha in the future. Here in Rangoon is now nothing really happening. I was able to clean all of the mines, so Port Blair is now clean. I can bring some engineers and build up the base, because now it's a little damaged, and I need I mean, Port 2 is maybe enough, but I need an airfield of 4 that I can build. Here I'm still trying to block, and I bring more submarines up. Here also submarines waiting for me, but most of the time I can detect them and avoid them. And I really don't ship so much here out. It's I don't need it. I simply have not the numbers and power to act in the Indian Ocean very active now. My army is slowly walking down, so it needs still 3 or 4 days to arrive in Palembang. And in Tarakan I now was able to... I have now an additional attack value, so 200 attack value, but the supplies are still low. But I have here more supplies unloading. So next turn I will unload all the supplies. Now I was first only unloading troops. Because normally you unload first troops and then supplies. If troops and supplies are on the same ship. So it makes sense that you can normally... If you want to make sure that you have supplies at the same turn in your hex with your troops, you can create maybe 2 task forces, one with loading the troops, and then you also build up another task force with only loading supplies, and then you merge them before you make the amphibious assault. Then you have make sure that then you can have both troops landing and supplies landing at the same time. Good. Here is no activity. Yeah, maybe. Here, west of Australia, this was this task force. I maybe wait 2 or 3 turns. Maybe I'm not so sure if I really don't know more if you can turn around task forces. They are already on the way. So I think I wait 2 or 3 turns. I really don't know, and I don't have. I don't want really. I will find it out. If in 3 days no additional task force is coming here out to person, I know, okay, you can change the turn or you can change the location. Maybe this is possible. But I'm already so far away from my base. If I now run away immediately and at the end more is coming out of the frame here, would be waste. I don't have really any torpedoes left. You can see nearly nothing. No, I have still some shells, so shells are enough to sink cargo ships. Or at least, if I really hurt here any cargo ship, it will not survive. We are here in the middle between... I think the distance to Perth is the same distance to Cape Town, more or less. So, you need 6-7 days, and a burning ship with 6-7 days away from a port will die. So here's my other cruiser formation. I was hoping... not really, but... I was waiting here if something happened, but I think now it's time to break and come back. In Omaya I was able to... there was nothing. So I have Norfolk Island. My destroyer is here. I get the flotation damage a little under or close to 70, but my system damage I think go up, so I don't know, I try to stay one day here at the base and see if I can get the system damage down. But I don't think so, but at least I can try it one turn. If not, I must really make the long way here between Nomaya and Fiji. My carrier was... Oops, where's Pago? Here's Pago. So nothing happened. My scout planes tell me now here are many fighters, so exactly what I was expecting. I mean, it makes sense. The problem is only these fighters kill all my scout planes. I don't know if I have any scout plane left. No scout plane left. No scout plane left. And this one have no overstrike. So now I have really no recon more. Yeah. I was trying to move here southeast, so maybe if here's anything, because this is still the New Zealand supply line. If I go here to the west, then here's Auckland. So I was thinking, okay, I can maybe check the Auckland line so far away. So these submarines are operating on this Auckland line. So, and maybe I also can go to the Wellington line, then it's more really like this line. So 6-7 hexes more source. This is the Wellington line and this is the Auckland line more or less. So Maybe I will walk here, source, and check the both lines, and if I see something, then I maybe can hunt a little more. And if there's, but I don't expect this. Jochen knows that my carrier are here, so maybe he will somewhere, so many places he can simply hide and stop. And if his ship is not moving, then it's consume, I think, only very little fuel. Uh, so this would be impossible for me to find, or very, very unlikely. And my fuel is running lower and lower. I really have to return to base sooner or later. Good. Anything else? Anything else? Not really. Yeah. If you have any questions, ask me. But so far, it looks okay, but of course could be much better. The biggest handicap is still I'm missing, of course, Burma. There was no really possibility for me to take it, and it's already March. On the other hand, I was able to really take very quickly without losses Malaya, Singapore, Java, and Philippines. All of these 3 engagements was easy or working like more or less smoothly. In China, it was a mixed bag, I would say. I took many bases are important, especially Xi'an, after some struggle. I also take here some bases, but the core center of China is still in Jochen's control. And also the important oil industry along here in Lenshao is not in Japanese hand. If I can take this 3 bases or take this 3-4 bases, that would be maybe help me in the future. Good. Thank you all. Take care. Bye bye.